Well, there, the A1 ring, and a circuit that was developed and redeveloped, and one that Jamie Davis knows well.
Yeah, you know, it's a great circuit. Very tricky actually on the setup of the cars, but you know, the drivers tend to enjoy it. It's a little bit Mickey Mouse in places, but again, you know, you just got to work really hard with the engineers to try and get the best out of the car.
Well, in a moment we'll look at the circuit map. We can see we're going to start with the Super Touring cars. Race 1, Race 2, they reverse the results. Very shortly we'll get a trip round the circuit with Fabrizio Giovanardi. And we can hear what he thinks about it. And I think we'll be welcomed by him very shortly. Goes up to the Castle curve it starts with, then the Remus curve, then Cossa curve, and Jochen Rindt before coming back for the start and finish.
Hello, I'm Fabrizio Giovanardi. Welcome to Austria, and now I will show you one lap in the circuit.
Yes, well, that's the limit of his English for the moment. I can tell you what he's saying is we're going to do a fast lap of the Dietwig circuit. It's a start and finish straight first of all. We reach a top gear 6. Then we come up to the right-hand corner. It's a 90-degree corner, which we take in second gear. Now from there, very fast at the turn. First uphill, and then you move into 6th gear. And there's a right-handed hairpin right at the top of the hill. We go all the way down to 1st gear, and you turn into the hairpin. Then another long straight. They move again up to 6th gear. And now we move on to the most difficult part of the circuit, into a 2nd gear hairpin. And they turn right in on the outside of the corner, or the inside of the corner, depending on which way you're looking at that. Up through the gears 3rd, 4th and 5th. Into the first very fast corner. Take it in 3rd gear, flat out into 4th. Then the power on. Through 4th and 5th gear. And arriving very quickly at the right-hander into 3rd gear. Very difficult now because it's downhill. It's on a slope from right to left as well. And then the last corner before the start and finish straight. That lap with Fabrizio Giovanardi, who will certainly be right at the pointed end of the race. And we're going to start with the first of the Super Touring car races in just a moment. Well, we're straight into it. It's round 7. And you're looking there at the car of Gabriele Tarquini in pole position. Next to him, Fabrizio Giovanardi. So it's Italians that dominate the first 2 rows. Giovanardi's teammate Nicola Larini on the 2nd row with Concierge. There's the championship points. So you see the 2 Italian teammates with Alfa Romeos were 1st and 2nd. Great number of Italian drivers. Tarquini was very, very quick yesterday when we saw him in practice, Jimmy.
Yeah, Tarquini's car looked, you know, it was balanced well. Looked very good through the infield on the 2 quick left-hand corners. Looked very committed and able to drive the car very quick and very smooth.
Giovanardi got into the 136s, just into the 136s, and Larini just nicked in at the very last minute, getting into the 136s as well. Those 3 very much the class of the field, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Larini was lucky. He had some traffic, I think, on the last flying lap, and I think he was able to get one more lap out of the tyres, which before the checker flag came out, which managed to get him there on the grid. So you know, he's in good position really for the start of the race.
Fabrice Wolfsbich had some problems yesterday, but eventually managed to haul himself up to 5th fastest. He had electrical problems before that. Gianluca De Lorenzi, one of the amateur drivers, likely to go very quickly. He was, in fact, the quickest of the amateur drivers. He's on the 3rd row with a BMW. And the interesting format for race 2 of this, because they just reverse the grid from wherever you finish, you start at the back if you win it.
For sure, looks interesting, yeah.
And there's the red light. About to go to green it has gone.
It's a good start for Tarquini.
It looks like a good start for Tarquini, but then it seemed to slow just as it went out of picture there.
Could have been just as the tyres were gripping and maybe a slight wheel spin to start with.
Because now we have in fact got the man who was on the other side of the front row, Giovanardi, and in fact it's Tarquini has dropped back a couple of places. He's fighting back straight away. Cosiejo was up there also, and Cosiejo with the Audi A4 Quattro. He's passed, so Tarquini's gone through into second place, but it's Giovanardi in first place. Now, yesterday, clearly the class of the field was Gabriele Tarquini. He's going to have to fight back, but he's going to have to fight back also to get past the man who's just overtaken him, Fabrizio Giovanardi. So if you can just go through that again, it looks to me as well like he made a very good start, and then maybe the tyres the adhesion didn't carry through.
Yeah, I think he picked up well on the green light. You know, he got the actual car moving very fast, but possibly picked up slight wheel spin, and then when he backed off the throttle and just to try and pick up the grip again, that obviously then bogged the car down, and he lost the positions. But he just needs to play it cool now, really, and you know, look at the race.
Well, look at Larini. Larini's gone very wide there, very wide indeed. He's got all sorts of problems. He's passed by 1, 2, 3, 4 cars there. So Larini with all sorts of problems in the other Alfa Romeo. Somebody goes grass wide all over the place. My goodness, that was Paolo Zadra with the BMW. But at the front, I think that it's still Giovanardi that's got it. And he's being hard chased now by Gabriele Tarquini with the Honda Accord. So it's Alfa from Honda Accord. Then it's Cosiejo with the Audi. Then Wolfish. Then De Lorenzi, who is making his fastest time as the amateur stick. He's the leading amateur in the race at the moment, in 5th place ahead of Lancelotti. Another Alfa Romeo there, so that's BMW from Alfa Romeo. But at the front, and Larini coming in, probably done all his tyres.
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, maybe he's flat spotted them, or he's picked up, you know, some gravel on the tyres, and maybe he's got an actual problem with one of the tyres, which is why he went off. Not really sure.
The man who's second in the championship isn't going to score an awful lot of points. They'll be eager to get him out. It's a high point scoring system, is this? There's 40 for a win.
See,
and the man looking for the win at the moment is Giovanardi, and Tarquini is starting to show himself here. He's going to line himself up here. I don't think the move is actually yet quite on. It'll be on in a second or two, because he's easing his way through. Yes, he's got it through there. And now they're going to have to turn again quickly into the next corner. Tarquini sized that up, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he just played it cool. He knew he had speed in hand from qualifying yesterday. Just basically came into the Castrol curve, the first corner. Just kept it cool. He knew that the chap in front was blocking, so he just went to the outside, got a run through the corner, able to get on the power soon, and then took the corner.
40 points for victory, 35. Just having a little look there, but coming through on the speed line, Tarquini with no real problem at all, although Giovanardi hasn't given up yet, and he closes back up on him. But it's the Honda that leads from the Alfa. 5 points spread between the winner of this race and second. And in the championship overall, Giovanardi is a long way ahead. But there's still 3 more rounds to go, 6 races to go after the races today. And there's that move again being shown through. He really worked that out. He knew he had the extra power to be able to do it.
Yeah, he knew he had track position there. He just positioned the car correctly on the circuit so that he could get a quicker exit and then take him down into the Remus corner. So that just worked out perfect for him.
That's Wolfish going through there to go into 3rd place with the other Honda Accord. So Cosiejo with the Audi A4 Quattro demoted to 4th place for the moment. And I think he'll stay in that 4th place, and I'm wondering whether Fabrice Wolfish can get after the 2nd place man. I think he's probably a bit off the pace, remembering yesterday only 3 drivers got into the 1 minute 36s. One of those is way at the back of the grid. And Jamie Davis, that's going to be an interesting situation, because he'll obviously make up a little bit of time coming through. He'll be able to use it as a test session, whatever. But when he starts the second race, he'll probably be in pole with Larini.
Exactly, yeah. You know, he's going to be looking good for the second race, that's for sure. So
Larini in pole, Tarquini at the back. Oh, yes,
make for a great
stirring
race.
Stuff ahead. And Tarquini now 6 laps completed. Open the gap to Giovanardi to 0.868. Wolfish is some 5 seconds off the pace. Then Cosiejo, De Lorenzi, Sardelli, But Tarquini, very much the man of the moment, and the Honda Accord seems, as you said yesterday, Jamie, ideally suited to this circuit.
Yeah, it's just working well. The guys have done obviously a good job with the balance of the car. They seem to have got the circuit pretty well sussed. Tarquini's driving well, just keeping a cool head, not making any mistakes, and he's able to just edge out that gap.
36.8, 136.8 fastest lap of the race so far. Gabriele Tarquini with the Honda Accord on his way, and barring something going wrong, as we see there, that was Gianluca De Lorenzi going through with a very orangey car. The BMW leading amateur in the race. And Larini trying to make up some time now. Might set the fastest lap or something like that.
You never know, he's gone a bit wide on that one.
Fire out of war. That isn't him, actually. that is the number 3 car going very wide of Romano Bernardoni. Another Alfa Romeo 156.
I think that's what you call slight understeer.
Yeah, you know, that was a dive for the inside, really, which sort of went all wrong.
I think, yeah, just carried far too much speed into the corner there.
There's been a good little battle before that with these 3, but the battle has no longer got Romano Bernardoni as any part of it, and that round is 16. Eric Cairol, the French driver who's been going steadily in this race. He's going to lose a couple of positions there.
Just dicing, obviously, with one of the other guys. And
Paulo Zadra has gone through ahead of him, but right at the front, absolutely no problems on the last lap for Gabriele Tarquini. Poleman dropped to 3rd by the first corner. Declaration of intent, forced his way through to 2nd, picked his moment. Nothing Giovanardi could do about it, and the Honda Accord driver will put himself on the top of the pile. His reward back at the grid for the next race.
That's great, yeah.
An interesting way to do it, and he takes the checkered flag, and the applause from his teammate. So it's Tarquini with the Honda Accord. He didn't lead from start to finish, but by the second lap was on his way, having dropped originally, as I said, to 3rd place. Delighted to do it. And there, official confirmation, Wallfish in 3rd place, putting Giovanardi in a Honda Accord sandwich. Then it's Cosiejo, De Lorenzi and Sardelli. So 5 Italians in the top 6. Lancelotti finishes in 7th place. Bernardoni, who had that defiant manoeuvre down the inside.
A good start.
More on him in a moment.
It was very important for the championship that you overtook Fabrizio to get the win. Can you tell us about that overtake?
Yeah, it was the speed of the 2 cars very similar. I think Fabrizio was the fastest on the straight, but my car on the corner, especially on the slow corner, was better than his car. And for this reason, under braking here, I make a full hard braking. He was on the right, and on the exit I was much faster than him, and I overtook him.
And then in the second race, it looks like you're going to have to do the same and overtake Fabrizio again.
Yeah, it's another story, you know. With the reverse grid, everything can happen. At my position, it's better on second race because, I mean, Fabrizio be happy about second place and for the championship, sure. But I think that will be a strong and tough race.
Well, he was the winner, and he was delighted, but he's got it all to do from the back of the grid. Now, the point situation gets a little bit closer anyway, only 5 points difference that Tarquini's gained there. He's now on 354, but he's made up a good queue on Larini, who finished way down and will start in pole position, or certainly on the front row of the grid. But really not that much of an improvement for the chasing of Tarquini of the man who's in the lead of the championship, Giovanardi. Quick look back at what happened at the beginning of it all. And already there, Tarquini starting to have a look. And he gets inside Giovanardi. Judges it well, and there's nothing really that Giovanardi can do about it. But what can Tarquini, from the back of the grid, do about the very quick also Larini, who's right at the front? You want to find out? Only one place to be, right here with us. Back in a second. Welcome back, and as promised, it's race 2 of the European Super Touring cars at the A1 ring. This is very interesting because it's a reverse grid, and you wouldn't give Tarquini a chance of winning it, really, would you? Because 136.8, he set the fastest lap, but so too, after Larini had been into the pits, he set one of 136.8 also.
It's going to be very tough for Tarquini for sure. I mean, the last place you want to be is at the back of the grid, so he's just going to have to be extremely careful for the opening lap. Try and pick off as many cars as he can, but don't get any trouble. You know, that's the biggest worry.
An upside down grid
makes it tricky.
Yeah, Mikko Lampinen at the time of 140.323. He was the slowest in the last race, and the man next to him was the quickest, equal quickest. Anyway, 136.8, and Tarquini, and of course Giovanardi's right at the back with him. And then the first, second, third, so on, are on the back rows of the grid.
If I was Larini now, I'd feel fairly comfortable. You know, he's obviously, the car's quick enough. He's on the front row, so you know, this should be a good race then.
But those boys at the back, you know, it'd be nice to watch them coming through, wouldn't it?
Oh, for sure. It's going to be a very interesting, great race to watch, I think.
Back to your karting days, that, isn't it?
It's going to be
won the British Championship doing that, starting off on the back of the grid and eats and winning them.
It's going to be.
What happened to you since then?
still in the sports cars at the moment.
Just in there. I mean, you had looked in '97 like you might make it all the way to Formula 1. Is that just out the window now?
No, it's not out the window at all. I'm still talking to Formula 1 teams at the moment for a test drive for possibly next season, but you know, it's just incredibly tough to break into that. You know, it's a number.
You raced against Montoya. You raced with Montoya, same team as Montoya. I mean, in qualifying sessions, you were sometimes quicker than he was.
That's right. Yeah.
Doesn't it sort of hurt?
It does sometimes, yeah. But you know, it's life. You have to make do with with what you've got, and you have to just keep trying, keep pushing forward. Great
having you with us, Jamie Davis, commentating. But I know you'd rather be in the car because half the time we're sitting next to you in our commentary booth, your arms and legs are moving, your feet are going, your head's fighting the G-force. Well, let's see what can happen now. Remember, Larini in the box seat, if you like, light on red, second of the European Super Touring car round. He had to go into the pits after going off in the first one, when he's gone off in style with this second one as well. Mikko Lampinen, the Finnish driver with the Audi A4 Quattro, no match at all there. And Heinrich, that's Heinrich Simonzik, the German driver, and he really took the Opel Vectra everywhere and loose and onto the gravel. That going up quite quickly was Robert Cosiejo, but he can carry on. Ken Heinrich. And he's got a problem there, hasn't he? Cosiejo has got a problem. Now we are on board trying to cut through the grid from the back with Tarquini and Giovanardi, but Larini out in the front, and you know, when you're out in the front you really should get away, shouldn't you?
You should just try and make a break now, really. You know, don't make any mistakes. Don't look at the mirrors too much. Just concentrate on what's on front and just try and keep moving forward. Some
bodywork hanging on in there.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem there. That's going to wear down the sidewall on the tyre, and I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't go flat pretty soon.
I think Waldfish was having a bit of a problem too, but right up at the front, it's Larini. And Larini, as Jamie Davis is saying, trying to get away. The men chasing him are the ones that have got to come through from the back. Tarquini, Giovanardi, the championship leader. Tarquini, who won the first race, and by that inherited the very back of the grid for this second one. And if he can win from there, it'll prove the Honda Accord very well set up for this circuit, with of course a very good driver driving it as well. But Giovanardi, who is ahead at the moment of Tarquini.
He's got a massive lead already.
And the end of the first lap, Cairoli
with a 4.5 second lead after the first lap.
Yeah, 4.5 second. Lampinen could be slowing up the field a little bit because he is a lot slower. I mean, that indication that is 4 seconds in the lap. But the Finnish driver will undoubtedly get quicker. At the moment, all he can do is look ahead and watch and see that.
Replay at the start here.
Yeah, and that's
the Alfa
again
going for the lunge.
Simonzik going with the Opel Vectra very much up into the gravel, but he does manage to continue. But that slows them all up at the back, which allows Larini at that time, Nicola Larini, to get a little further away with the Alfa 156.
Flaming parts there. Looks like a tyre maybe.
I'm just looking to see how they are coming through the field. Tarquini, Giovanardi, Waldfish was held up also. There's a bit of a rubbing together happen there, isn't there?
The tyre about to come off of the car now.
Yeah.
That's a replay on.
I think he's going to have to try and get into the pits as fast as, as slow as he can.
There it goes.
Yep, it's gone. Too late. Larini right up at the front.
Larini in this situation now, I mean, with that type of lead, I mean, he's just got to keep his concentration. As long as he keeps concentration, keeps the car, you know, nice and neat and tidy on the track, then he's going to be laughing.
Oh, Sardelli goes round and round. Manages to get into the right direction in the end with a Nissan Primera. I think his race is looking to have very much been extinguished.
It's going to end up being a test day now, provided he hasn't damaged any more of the car.
So Sardelli drops to the back of the field. At the front still Larini. Have a look at that again.
Not much grip when it's on the bare rim, obviously.
Very well to get it back going in the right direction eventually, didn't he? Well, still at the front, we just saw going past there Larini. A gap of 6.443 seconds. They've completed 2 laps, but you see Giovinazzi now up into 6th place already. Tarquini, who will hunt him down in 3rd position. Well, that's going to be an interesting battle, all right. They may not catch the man right at the front, Nicola Larini with the Alfa Romeo. He, of course, started right on the front row. But the battle between the two of them, one wonders whether Giovinazzi will be able to hold off the man he couldn't hold off in the first race, Gabriele Tarquini.
What they need to be careful of now is they're not going to hold each other up, obviously. I mean, you know, they want to be pushing to get up to Larini. And if they start fighting between themselves, then they're obviously going to help Larini break away, make even more of a gap. So they need to be careful of that fact.
Larini, of course, lying in 2nd place in the championship, be it that Tarquini has closed down that lead between 2nd and 3rd. And it's Fabrizio Giovinazzi who leads the championship at the moment. And that's a back marker up ahead. Larini really trying to get away from them all. And that's a change. That is, Tarquini has gone through. Tarquini, I don't know how he got past or where he got past, but the superior power definitely told for Gabriele Tarquini. So the Honda Accord has moved into 2nd place. 7.3 seconds, 3 laps gone. Is it over? Is it over?
It'll be interesting to see what Tarquini can do. His car is really working well. I mean, like he said in the interview earlier, through the slow corners, he's able to carry so much speed through the slow corners. Car looks well balanced.
But even if he had a second lap, it's 7 laps away from even being in a position to challenge.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for sure, unless you know, Larini makes some stupid mistake.
No, we didn't see the overtaking manoeuvre there, but Giovinazzi clearly not able to hold this man. So he was probably holding him up before as well. So there is a fair deal of speed that Tarquini has. He was almost a half a second quicker than Larini in practice, but they both shared the same time, the same fastest lap in the first race. Difference being Larini started from pole, this man started dead last.
Larini definitely trying setting the fast lap of the race just then.
So Larini hoping to win and get
Tarquini
maximum points. Tarquini getting nearer and nearer. Wallfish is threatening 4th place at the moment. 3rd place Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi, I think, perhaps content to stay in that 3rd place at the moment.
Just doesn't look like he's got, you know, he just hasn't the speed in hand now. Tarquini's car is just working out a little bit much better.
He's leading the championship by a bunch of points.
Exactly.
He's only dropped 5 points. He'll drop just a few points off on this one.
That's right.
Again, so over the whole meeting, maybe only 10 points adrift as long as he keeps it on the island.
Exactly. Just got to keep plugging away.
Wallfish had big problems in the early parts of qualifying, but got it all sorted out to be 5th on the grid. And right at the front, Larini with a race of his own. It's Wallfish again with the Honda Accord. Not the first of the amateurs, Gianluca De Lorenzi, Italian driver with the BMW E36. Wallfish is 5th at the moment. He'll want to improve on that. 4th place should be within his grasp. And meanwhile, Larini just continues at the front. Wolf is trying to hunt down the man just in front of him, which is Gianluca De Lorenzi. There is Tarquini. And the gap between Tarquini and Giovanardi just about. Eric Carroll in for a stop-go penalty.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to have increased it that much more, Tarquini. It's just maybe 1/10, 1.5 tenths a lap, it looks to me.
And of course, the gap will be known as he pitches his pit board each time to the leader, and he knows he's got a little bit in there to be able to just hold back. He'll be able to see if, and he'll be able to visually see on the long straights anyway, if Tarquini's getting anywhere nearer to him.
That's right, for sure. They'll be keeping, you know, the pit
Still
crew.
7 seconds, 5 laps gone, 7 seconds. It's not, you wouldn't expect it to change very much between two cars who set an identical fastest lap time.
Exactly. It's just down to, you know, obviously who can keep the car running at that pace the longest, really, you know. I mean, you just got to keep up that speed, and all Tarquini can do is just keep up the pressure on, keep putting in the lap times, and hope that he can pressurise Larini into some kind of mistake.
This Remus curve at the top there, that it comes right round back on itself, looks to me to be a very critical corner, is it?
It's very tight. You know, it's very undulated, the circuit there as well. It's very steep uphill as you're braking in the corner, so you can brake very late in that corner, maybe just past 100 metre board. It's very slow speed, minimum speed through the corner, but it's just critical that you get good traction and good drive out of the corner, so you can carry the speed then onto the next straight.
Talking about carrying speed, there's Tarquini trying to carry it, and he's taking with him Fabrizio Giovanardi, whose teammate, this man, Nicola Larini, is still in the lead, and with a lead of about 7 seconds, it's looking a very safe lead indeed. He's going to be coming up on some of the back markers shortly. The Honda Accord won the first race, but that was going very wide indeed, and that was Larini going very wide. I mean, he's gone wide and off and in trouble. Now, that, I think, had to be a back marker involved there.
It must have been, yeah. Maybe just lost some concentration, maybe gone the wrong side of a back marker, and it's forced him off onto the gravel.
And does that allow Tarquini to be through? Yes, it has.
I would imagine.
Tarquini is through. He's not lost second place, though, has he? Let's have a look there. If Larini has lost second place.
Tarquini suddenly got excited. He's got his lights on as well now.
But the two Alfa Romeos lying astern behind him, are they not? Interesting stuff. Maybe we'll be able to find out more a little bit later on. But that's Larini now behind Tarquini, and Giovanardi in third place. So it all changed. I mean,
unbelievable.
That fat lady must have been walking away from the piano.
That's unbelievable. I mean, Larini had that one sewn up, really. He didn't really need to take big gambles on back markers with 7 second lead.
Well, Tarquini must think it's all his Christmases together.
For sure, yeah. Handed on the plate, I think.
Back to first and just over half race distance.
It's good for him. Good for him just to score a few more points than them, obviously, for the championship as well.
Now, what's Larini saying now as he sits in the cockpit?
I'd imagine he's pretty steamed up.
But he's Italian as well, isn't he? I wouldn't want to be the back marker. I wouldn't want to be the back marker. Oh, and that's a look at that again. And you see where he was going there. I'm trying to see. There is another car amongst that bunch, but it was way over to the other side of it.
I think that was actually an Audi which was off on the gravel there at that particular corner.
And there is Tarquini, man in the lead. We're looking at that again. And that's well lost, isn't it? And that's not one of the Alphas, as you say. That looked like the Audi that had gone there.
That's right.
But this man very much on. He won the first race, started at the back in the second, and he's certainly best in the Alphas here, although it's fair to say if Nicola Larini hadn't gone off, he should really have won it. But we'll rejoin the action with Tarquini heading towards the flag in just a moment. With 7 of the 12 laps completed, it was Tarquini with the lead. Tarquini still has the lead ahead of the unfortunate Larini, who took the trip into the gravel trap. We think it was Mika Lampinen who went wide. It was either he or Sambataro. But there you have a gap of 2.7 now after 10 laps. Giovanardi 4.7 seconds behind that. Wallfish in 4th place. And there's Lampanen I talked about a moment or two ago. He actually started right on the front row. Now some 34 seconds back is the Finn. But no question of being at the back for very long was there for Gabriele Tarquini. Started at the back, now right at the front. And there we have him. His teammate Fabrice Wallfisch has also come through. He's in 4th place as I speak at the moment. Larini still has 2nd, but once that, as we've gone into the last lap now, once he was past Tarquini, there was nothing that Larini could do about it, but there's only about 2.5 seconds gap, so clearly if Jamie Davis hadn't gone off, he would have won the race, no question.
Oh, no question, no. Just very surprised that, he made that kind of mistake. A guy with that experience should have really just kept the cool head, really, and no need to make any risks at all with a 7-second lead, and for sure he would have ended up winning the race, but it's not to be. Tarquini's got the lead. As long as he keeps now a cool head, then I don't see any reason why he's not going to win it.
Listening to the voice of Jamie Davis, a man with the experience of 4 Le Mans, some excellent racing in Formula 3. You won at Enna, didn't you?
Yeah, I won at Enna in Formula 3000, yeah.
And you have actually driven a Formula 1, I know you have.
Tested for McLaren a couple of times, yeah. The first time I tested was part of winning the McLaren Autosport Young Driver of the Year back in '94.
Tarquini heading now on the last lap for a double.
It's a good weekend for Tarquini for sure. He's going to be very, very happy with this one.
Go away with a bag full of 80 points, but because Giovanardi finishes 2nd and 3rd, there's not that big a drift in the points. We'll look at the points a little bit later, so Giovanardi must fancy himself for the title. Larini's chances of it with the back of the grid effectively finished that put him in pole to start the 2nd race, and now 2nd in this one. Not the best of weekends.
Tarquini takes the flag.
For Nicola Larini, a great one for Tarquini. So Italians take 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and then a Frenchman, Fabrice Wallfisch, puts the 2 Alfa Romeos in a sandwich, so a Honda Accord finish 1st and 4th, and the Alfa Romeos 1st and 2nd, and Gianluca De Lorenzi, 1st amateur home with the BMW. Tarquini will be absolutely delighted. And in fairness, he's drove well.
Has drove well. Made no mistakes at all. Just kept the car in one piece, made no contact with anybody, kept it smooth, kept the cool head, and got the results.
Well, they've got after this the Nürburgring, they've got Harama, and I think it's Esteban. 3 rounds, 6 races. He still could be with a chance.
Still could well be, yeah. Certainly with this situation as well, where they reverse the grids for the 2nd race, anything can happen.
You've got to also say that, okay, Larini may have made mistakes, but Giovanardi, I mean, that's been good racing for him. Good, they don't have to win every race to win a championship.
It's what wins championships, just consistently scoring the points, getting on the podium. That's for sure what takes the title.
And Eric Caroli of France there, stop-go penalty.
Just unfortunate there, really.
Yeah, still finishes in 6th place.
Not bad at all.
Lancelotti, worthy of perhaps more than his 11th place. We got more touring cars, European touring cars to come with the super production class very shortly. There's the man effectively on a lap of honour. Tarquini about to be congratulated and about to speak to you for watching Eurosport.
Gabriele, it looked as though you had a little bit of help there from Nicola, but even so, it must be the perfect weekend for you after Silverstone as well. That's another 2 wins out of 2.
Yeah, he showed a very good weekend. I was very lucky in the 2nd race, especially because Larini started for the 1st row. I'm on the last. But I overtook Giovanardi because he did a little mistake, and for me Larini was uncatchable because the gap was more than 7 seconds. But fortunately for me, he made a little mistake. I don't know because I don't know the accident, but he was pushed out from an unlapped car.
So that's a good weekend for you. You've caught up a lot of ground now in terms of the championship.
Yeah, I don't know how much point I gained to Giovanardi. It's sure that I'm catching Larini, Nicola. This gives me a lot of optimistic atmosphere, because I know that the potential of the car is very high, so I hope to continue like this.
Thank you, Gabriele.
Well, they look and they admire what was a very good drive from Tarquini. Talk about maybe a little error from Larini as well, and then, you know, all Italians together, we don't blame him too much for it. You actually think that Larini got it wrong, don't you?
Well, I mean, even if it was a back marker involved, you know, when you have a 7-second lead, there's no reason to take any risks and have to pass him on that corner anyway. You know, he could have possibly sat behind and passed after the corner, and if it wasn't a back marker, then there's no reason to go off.
What he was wondering was Gabriele Tarquini about the championship points position. So if he's casting his eye in the Eurosport monitor at the A1 ring, of which there are many, in just a second or two, we'll be able to see how it's all affected. And remember, there is another 6 races to go in the 2 races per round. And the Honda people, no doubt, absolutely delighted. A double for Tarquini. I'm explaining it all now. Is Giovanardi absolutely no reason, you know, he's reasonably happy, good weekend for him?
Good weekend, yeah. Consistent point scoring. Hasn't really hurt him in the championship at all, so, you know, he's going to be looking forward to the next couple of races. If he can keep producing results like that, and there may be a possible win, you know, again, then he's looking good.
And there's our points table. Giovanardi obviously still at the top with 449. Larini with 418, but you see now Tarquini is starting to monster on Larini's lead.
Most definitely. Larini can't fall asleep, that's for sure. Tarquini's going to keep pushing. If they keep producing results like they had this weekend, then, you know, he's going to be there at the end of the year.
And people will be joining you, no doubt, September the 8th and 9th, because I know you're going to be at the next round to see what happens between Larini, Giovanardi and Tarquini. Excellent stuff from Tarquini. A good day at the office too for Giovanardi. Not so good for the guy who just went off there, Simon Zick. Although he eventually finishes 4th of the amateurs. Good fight back from him. Still, GT, FIA GT to come. Before that, the super production race from the A1 ring. The commentary team, Jamie Davis. I'm Tony Delahunty. And that the incident that effectively cost Larini victory in the second race. That man got it. Tarquini.